So this is the second episode in the series. So in the first episode we've machined out the aluminium components, and in this one we're going to be drilling, doing a bit of tapping. We're going to make the wooden forms, fit it all up, and then hopefully bend the actual aluminium outer case into shape. So stick around, hopefully enjoy it. It's going to be a lot of fast forwarding, there's a lot of mundane tasks, but hopefully I can make it interesting with some fancy music. So over here I'm just filing the components. Most of them just need a quick file around the edges, just to deburr them as such. I could have done it with a chamfer mill operation, but as I said, the parts weren't completely flat on the bed, and it probably wouldn't have worked very well. So just a quick file up, and then we're going to go into the drilling and tapping of the braces. So I'm setting up the piece of stock to machine the wooden forms. I'm not entirely sure where I found this piece of timber. I mean, I measured it up and it's imperial size, so I mean it's difficult to find imperial size wood these days, well for me anyway, so it's probably been sitting outside for a while. It's a heartwood, I mean it's got loads of splits through it. I wasn't expecting great things, but on top of that I'm using a dull cutter and I'm going in at a 10mm depth of cut, so it sounded horrendous. So I left the shed while this was going on. So I don't think the camera really does it justice of how incredibly horrible the CNC sounded in this stage. I mean, it doesn't help that I've got screws lying around in my bed which are vibrating around everywhere, but also the bed itself is pretty flexible. It's something that I want to change, and I might well do some future videos on that, so hit subscribe if you actually do want to see that happening. I'm going to be casting that bed out of iron at one point, but I've since strengthened that bed because it does rattle around a bit. But you're probably going to see me pop into the scene in a bit because I'm back from my short little walk, and I pretty much go ahead and slam on the E-start because it sounds absolutely terrible and quite terrifying, to be fair. I've actually drilled up the holes. I've also cleaned these up, so they look a lot better now. When they first came off the CNC, they're pretty shaky at best. I mean, I think the problem here is the fact that if you look at the wood and you look at the grain, it's just hardwood, and it's pretty difficult to get through. I mean, coupled with my infamous sticky tape solution of holding the parts down, yeah, I got a lot of noise, a lot of vibration. I suspect the dog cutter didn't help. So in all, I probably shouldn't do what I've just done, but the parts came out alright. I'm quite surprised considering like the state of the wood. As you can see, there's just cracks through them. But hey ho, they might work for what I needed to do. They actually fit surprisingly well, considering that I've used like material found from God knows where. So the idea is stacking them up like this, grab the top piece, put them on top like this, like so, and then hopefully the wooden form hold the actual top bracing in place as we go ahead and like bend the aluminium around. So that's the idea. Whether it'll work, well, God knows. But hey, it'll be fun trying. So once I've actually bent the outer aluminium sheet into shape, I set it up with some G-clamps, and then once I'm happy with the position, I'm going ahead and I'm drilling the hole for the tap. I'm using the holes on the outer sheet to actually guide me through or guide that position, and then I go ahead, drill the hole. I've got some masking tape to set the depth on the actual drill bit. Probably the worst way of doing it, but it works for me, so I'll use it for now. Well, it doesn't really work well, but it works well enough. And then I go ahead and tap those, and then eventually I put in the countersink screw, and then I carry on working my way around the actual case itself. So I finished bending and screwing everything up. Overall, I think the thing turned out alright. I don't have to redo those aluminium side plates that are bent into shape. I think all in all they look alright. There are some slight gaps around the corners which the camera struggles to pick up. I'm not going to be chasing any IP ratings, that's for sure. However, I can easily fix those with maybe a bit of sealant between the gap, and that will probably help things and keep the dust out. There's obviously a big fan there, there's going to be some vents and everything, but still, that might lead to some dust ingress. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with what's happened. The next video is me wiring this up, so I'm going to put all the servo drives in, all the wires that are all going to be placed, and then all the cables that trail out of it. And then eventually, it's going to be mounted on the wall, and then we can see the CNC in action. So hit subscribe if you like the video and you want to see the series. The wiring video will be up shortly.